Hi everybody, I'm Mark. Today we're on Gaining Vision with Melanie Taddeo, and we're going to talk about her new book. Could you give me some insight, Melanie, on what made you who you are today?
Well, I think it started with my journey, to be honest, Mark. So at the age of 21, I suffered a massive stroke that left me completely paralyzed on my left side and legally blind. I was in my fourth year university studying visual art, and that's the big pun.
Visual arts.
Yeah, exactly. So painting, sculpture, I was really passionate about the arts. And all of a sudden I had migraines for months. And they kept saying, oh, it's stress from university. Who has stress at 21 studying art, right?
That's the start of your life.
Right, prime of your life. And so I was driving on the 401 highway, and all of a sudden I lost the vision in my left eye.
On the highway?
On the highway.
Wow.
And somehow, miraculously, I got home safely. I suffered this stroke, and all of a sudden my life changed like that.
Yeah.
I had no vision at all, and I had to start all over again, learning to walk, help myself learn to dress, all those things that I'd already done years ago as a child.
Very difficult for you, no doubt.
That's it. And my goal in life, all my life, was to be a teacher. I wanted to teach kids anything. Just that was my dream. Everything I'd done to that point had led up to that. My volunteer work, all the jobs I ever had was to work with children, teaching. And then after all the rehab and going through the process and getting my independence back, I then had to learn how to live my life as a blind woman. And that's a whole other struggle. But my family would like to say stubborn, but I say determined. And I'm a fighter. And I went to Teachers College and became the first legally blind teacher to graduate in Ontario, which is wonderful.
Were you able to work?
No, nobody would hire me because of my vision loss. It was so heartbreaking.
That must have taken a toll on you.
It did. But you know what? That fighter spirit in me made me keep fighting.
So, what did you do to come out of that?
Well, everybody kept telling me that I was disabled and that I should stay home.
Labeling you?
Absolutely. You know, it's okay. You could, like, as if it was okay for me to stay home and do nothing with my life.
Accept it.
Exactly. But what happened was then I started to get creative. I met a lot of people with different types of disabilities.
Right.
And they said to me, I want to be independent. And I'm thinking, you can be. And they kept saying, how?
Yeah, because when a person has a disability, like myself, you're kind of thrown into this corner and expecting to let other people take care of you. But what did you do?
Well, I took everybody's advice, because everybody has advice, you know, you've
Always.
heard this, right? And I felt what worked for me. I wasn't going to get that job teaching,
Right.
but I could use my teaching abilities to help others.
It was very creative of you.
Yeah.
And what came out of that creativity?
I started a charity called Connect for Life, where I help individuals with disabilities access education and training programs to help them achieve their goals, as well as a radio station, Voices for Ability Radio, where it's a platform for people with disabilities to have a voice. It's the first 24/7 internet radio station for, about, and by people with disabilities. And in this way, I can teach life skills, radio broadcasting, and help individuals achieve those dreams that they've always been wanting to in a safe environment that is personalized to meet their needs.
Well, isn't that the way I met you?
It is. You rolled into my life and an interview for Connect for Life.
And here I am today.
There you go.
And I can actually say being a part of Connect for Life has definitely changed my life. It's given me a role to play, and it definitely is to help other people with a disability. So I can definitely say Connect for Life has helped me, and I've seen where it's helped other colleagues of mine. So tell us about your motivation to do this kind of work.
You know, I think growing up, my family always taught me to help others that are in need, especially, you know, if somebody was struggling. It didn't have to be a disability per se, even just kids
Walk
on the
the lady
playground.
across the street.
You know, just be nice, be polite. But what really made me do this was after my stroke, nobody offered information or resources to my family. And we didn't know anything about disability. So I just didn't want anyone else to go through what I did. Even on my first day of Teachers College, my professor told me I'd be gone by Christmas because of my disability. And I was like, this is just not right. People need to feel that they can do whatever it is they choose to do. They may do it differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
They need a place to belong.
Exactly. So I think that's what motivated me. And then just as I started to do the work, seeing the clients achieve their goals, it's so rewarding and so fulfilling. And the smile on their face and the little happy dances they may do.
So, what inspired you to tell your story?
Well, when I started Connect for Life, I realized I'd had to, get comfortable with talking about my own story, not only to the clients, but to the community, to let people know why I was doing the work I was doing.
Educating them.
Exactly. Because I think people feel more passionate and connected with it when they understand where I'm coming from, that I'm not just some person on the street saying, I'm going to start this and do it.
Absolutely.
And then I joined Toastmasters because
Yes.
I really was nervous about talking in front of a crowd. There's a lot of filler words, that sort of thing. But I started to get the confidence in my speaking abilities, and now I'm able to go out and inspire different audiences, whether it's corporate, community, or now I'm working on my inspirational speaking, and that's a whole other fun gamut of things.
Is it? So, tell us about this book.
Ah, it's funny. 20 years ago, I was told by a nurse, you need to write your book. And I was so gung-ho back then, I took out my old cassette recorder and I
Really?
interviewed everybody I knew, how the stroke affected them. Because it wasn't necessarily about me. I wanted to know how other people are feeling. And I learned a lot about the situation. Because when you go through something so traumatic, you get caught up in the whole bubble
Right.
of what is your life. And I really didn't take time to ask my family how it affected them. But what really shocked me was the responses I got. My poor sister, who was 13 when I had my stroke, and she said, I hate you. I said, what?
That must have set you back.
No, you know what? I was shocked for a
Yeah.
moment, but I asked why. And she said, you stole my sister.
Mm.
And in her eyes at 13, I had, because I wasn't the same person.
Right. She looked up to you, no doubt.
Exactly. I was her big sister, the cool sister with the cool car and the
Yeah.
cool music. But that shifted. Anyway, so I did this interview and had all those cassettes. I typed up something and it sat on my computer for years.
Yeah.
Then last Christmas, I received an audiobook for Christmas and it inspired me so much. I loved it. I listened to it 11 hours straight. Washroom breaks excluded, of course.
Of course.
And I was telling my husband about how amazing this book was, and he said, you're just lit up with passion. He's like, this is why you need to tell your story. And I said,
Absolutely.
who's going to want to hear my story? I really didn't believe it. And I thought about it after a while. He's like, you inspire everybody you come in contact with. Think about the people from Connect for Life. Think about your family and your friends. And I was like, maybe I should. So then I pulled out that old book, and oh my gosh, Mark, it was terrible. It was awful because I was so angry back then. Why me? Why
It was
this?
new. I understand that purpose.
So I knew I couldn't use what I had written. And I started to think, okay, I don't want it just to be about me. I want to be able to help people. So I did my research, and I found a publisher, a partner publisher that would help me get what I wanted accomplished. So yes, telling my story to help inspire people, but also giving somebody, the reader, something in return. Unforeseen change, and you know this so well, happens to all of us, whether we have a disability or not. A death in the family, a break of a relationship, or even a loss
Absolutely.
of a job.
Yeah.
And we all have a choice. We can fight or we can give up. So my book is about how people can overcome unforeseen change in their life. And I give them the tricks that worked for me. May work for them, may not. But at least it gives them something to think about.
Absolutely. I mean, I can relate to being angry in the beginning of my disability as I've acquired it. And it took some time, a lot of time, a lot of ups and downs, but definitely meeting you when I did. And I don't know what it was with you or the connection between you and I, but it helped motivate me to do what it is that I'm doing now. It allowed me to find somebody that was inside me that I didn't know was there. Where can we buy your books?
Oh, well, actually, they just went on pre-sale. So if you go to my website, melanietaddeo.ca, which is on the screen, then you can go to the button that says pre-order your book. We have the regular printed version. We have an audio book coming in January and an ebook version available as well. But they won't be released until December.
So your books are accessible to everyone.
Oh, well, yes. Hello, having a blind woman write a book that's not accessible, just not heard of.
Just want to make sure everybody knows that it's available to them and
Yes,
they can get it online.
absolutely. And it will be on Amazon as well
Oh,
as of
nice.
December. Yes. So exciting.
So where can people connect with you?
Well, I've just changed all my social media handles to at Gaining Vision. It's all about branding, you know. So my book, my book title. We have to talk about that.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Okay,
Let them know
I
everything.
will. So my unforeseen journey, losing sight, gaining vision. And I just want to tell everybody about the setup of the book. It's a little different. I've named each chapter after a word that means something to myself and to the audience. First, like things like dreams, expectations, beliefs, change, choice, difference. You get the idea. Passion.
I'm already into it.
Yes, and each part of the chapter, first part of the chapter, is my story through that word. And then the second part is what I've learned and some advice I'm sharing with the audience to add to their own life situation.
So it sounds like a very interesting book, very engaging. So your audience feels like they're a part of the book.
I hope so. That's the goal.
Well, I'm sure you've done a great job, and I can't wait to get my copy.
Oh.
What do you expect from this YouTube channel? What are you going to engage us with?
Well, my hope is to interview other people that have overcome adversity. And I'm not just talking disability. I'm talking about life adversity.
Absolutely.
And how their journeys went and how they came out on the other side in a positive light. Because each and every one of us has something to share with each other to help somebody in a similar situation, whether it's a health condition,
True.
a breakup of that relationship, or a death in the family. We're all going to go through those stages of grief in life, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel if we choose to fight.
No, I agree with you there. I mean, we all have our challenges, and it's something that definitely we need a push sometimes to get something done. And knowing you for as long and short a time as I have, I think you will definitely inspire other people as you've inspired me. And I can't wait, as I said, to be at the launch and wait to see what happens next for you.
Thanks so much, Mark, for doing this for me. And to you guys, tune in next time for the next episode of Gaining Vision.
And don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
All those things, and follow.
Yes, see you next time on Gaining Vision.